philosophically, the beginning of that relationship building is here in the admissions process. So when you reach out, we're just starting to build our relationship and getting to know you all. So please don't be shy about sending questions to me in an email. All right. Um, let's go ahead and get started. I like to be on time. Thank you all so much for joining the webinar today. My name is Sheila Gold. I am the Assistant Dean of Recruitment and Admissions for the Tulane School of Professional Advancement. We really appreciate you all taking time out of the middle of your day. These webinars we try to keep to about 20 minutes so we don't take up too much of your time, but we feel like we give you some really high level, important information that you all can use while you are doing your navigating your admissions process. I also want to do a little shout out to my colleagues who are here with me. Ann Conlon is behind the scenes, moving the slides, monitoring the chat. And then my admissions colleagues, Celeste Uze, Lily Ruiz, and Abby Long are with me. And so we appreciate you all. And these are folks that you also might run up against in the admissions process. So now you've heard their names and maybe seen their faces. All right. Next slide, please. So, oftentimes we get asked, like, School of Professional Advancement, what is that? I don't know what that name means. Is that really part of Tulane? Absolutely. So, let me tell you a little bit. Tulane University is made up of 10 individual schools, one of which is the School of Professional Advancement. So, the oldest school at Tulane is the School of Medicine. Shortly thereafter, the law school was founded. And then right after that, the School of Professional Advancement was added. It has had several names along the way. School of Continuing Studies, University College are a couple of those names, but essentially it has always had the same mission, which is to offer a Tulane education to what we call non-traditional students or adult learners. What that looks like today is anybody other than sort of that traditional, I just graduated from high school, I'm 18 years old, I'm going to college, I am going to live on campus, I'm going to live in a dorm, like that's sort of the traditional student. We offer a Tulane education to students, most of whom are adult learners, many of whom, if not most, are juggling going to work and going to school. Many of our students have some college experience and are either coming back to finish a bachelor's degree, or in your case, you all already have bachelor's degrees, but you're looking at a master's degree. People do that for different reasons. Sometimes they've always wanted to get a master's degree. Some are getting a totally different master's degree than they've already had because they're career changers and they either want to get a promotion or do something very different in their careers. All of our graduate degrees are online. And that gives working adults like you all who have family obligations, adult obligations, work obligations to be able to have a flexible access to taking your courses. You don't have to like drive to campus, find a parking spot, sit in a classroom. You can do these online. So, where we are located, we are on the Uptown campus of Tulane University. That is the main campus off of St. Charles Avenue for those of you who are familiar with New Orleans. Top right picture is the building that we're in, the Richardson building. We occupy the whole second floor. If you're ever on campus, I say come on and come into the building and say hi. Like I said, we love to get to know our students and talk to you all and answer any questions that you may have. The bottom right picture is actually our student lounge, that Where You Belong mural was actually developed and created by some of our digital marketing students. That was a class project. We loved it so much, and we thought that the message was so true and resonated with us. That is how we feel about our students. You belong at SoPA. So we actually commissioned those students to paint it on the wall. So if you ever come to our building and you want to plop down and spend some time talking to us, you too can see that mural. But more importantly, I want you to hear the message. You definitely belong at the School of Professional Advancement. All right, next slide, please. And the next, if you can progress to the next slide. Thank you. Okay. So one of the questions that we also get is like School of Professional Advancement, is that a Tulane degree? Absolutely. This picture, this slide is our goal, right? Like we want you to get admitted to SoPA. We want you to do well. Then we want to be there on graduation day when you receive your diploma. So your diploma looks just like this: Tulane University, School of Professional Advancement. It will have your name on it. It will have the degree that you earned, seal of the university, and signatures of all the important people like the president of the university and the dean of the school. So we like to say Tulane programs. You get a Tulane faculty and a Tulane degree. And so we're excited for you all to start dreaming the dream of getting this degree from Tulane. Next slide. All right. So, in the next 15 minutes or so, we're going to discuss the programs that we offer at the graduate level, a little bit of what we think are differentiators between us and other schools that you may be looking at in terms of the learning experience, how we support students to be successful from sort of this moment right now as you're applying all the way through until you get that diploma that we just showed you. And then we'll talk a little bit about the application process. All right, so a little bit about our faculty. Our faculty at the School of Professional Advancement are what we call professors of practice. And this is a little bit different from other schools that you may be looking at, in that all of our faculty at Tulane actually do what they teach. So you're learning from the kinds of professionals that you will be encountering in the workplace. So when you are in a classroom and you're learning the skills that you need to get a job upon graduation, your teachers are already giving you the most current day relevant information that will make you the most desirable candidate in the workforce when you graduate. So here's an example. So, Kate Donahue is the Undersecretary and Chief of Staff for the Massachusetts Office of Education, and she teaches in our Masters of Public Affairs program. So, when you're trying to learn about, how to run a state department, she does that every day. She can teach you that in real time. Derek Bose is one of our professors. He teaches in our emergency management program. He's the former chief administrative officer for the Southeast Louisiana Flood Protection Authority. So he knows how to deal with disasters and floods. So when you're in a classroom learning about emergency management in our emergency management program, you are learning from a person who does this at a high level. If there are things that you need to know so that you can plan an emergency plan or create one, this man has done it, and he's telling you all the technical skills that you need to become the most desirable candidate in the workplace. I'm going to skip to our last folk, Ralph Russo. He is actually our program director for our cyber and IT program. Ralph is a former NYPD officer and counterintelligence officer, and he was on the NYPD during 9/11 and helped them set up after 9/11 their counterintelligence program. So when you're learning about cybersecurity, you are learning from one of the nation's most foremost cybersecurity experts. This is the kind of faculty that you're going to get at Tulane. So consider all your classroom time. You are being mentored towards being the kind of professional you want to be when you graduate. So we feel like that's a differentiator between us and other schools. Next slide, please. All right, so this is a quote you all can read, but I'm going to read it to you because I feel like it sort of sums up everything I just said. So Amanda Fennell teaches in our cyber and IT program, and she says, as a cybersecurity leader, I feel it's vital to prepare our professionals, that's you all the students, through practical experience, which is why I incorporate my day job into my classes at night. So she's a full-time cyber and IT professional, but she teaches for us in our online classes. So this is the type of professor that you all are going to be taught and mentored by. Next slide, please. All right. So we're talking about graduate programs. There are two different pathways that you all can take graduate courses. You can get a full master's degree or you can pursue a graduate certificate. And we have those listed on this next slide. And if you'll click the next slide, please. Okay, so our master's degrees, I'm going to read them to you. We have master's degrees in cyber technology, a master of art in teaching, which is for folks who want to be classroom teachers. We have four different masters of education degrees, and these are for folks who want to be teacher leaders or who want to be principals, deans. They want to be more in administration and leadership. Those are in educational leadership, learning experience design, special education, and teaching English learners. We have a Master of Liberal Arts, Master of Public Administration, Master in Emergency Management, Homeland Securities, Sports Studies, and Sports Administration. So those are our master's degrees. For those of you who feel like, oh, a master's degree might be a little bit too much of a commitment at this point, we also offer graduate level certificates. And Anne, if you could click to the next slide, please. Oh, Anne, can you click to the next slide? Okay. Oh, wait, do you have a list of the certificates, Anne? Next slide.
Do you see it on the screen?
I don't see it. I'm so sorry.
No, it,
There we go. Thank you. A list of
oh,
our
okay.
graduate certificates.
I
So
didn't.
in all of
Okay.
the areas that we offer graduate degrees, we also offer graduate certificates. And these are anywhere between 4 and 6 courses. Most of them are 4 courses. I'm not going to read them all to you because you can see that there's a whole lot. But many of our students will start off taking just a graduate certificate. So let's say that you're like, I don't know if I have enough time to get my master's in IT. But you're like, you know what? Maybe I will get a master's certificate in data and artificial intelligence. You take your 4 courses, you get your certificate, but before you graduate with your certificate, you're like, you know what? Those 4 courses weren't so bad. If I stay in school for 8 more courses, I can get my whole master's degree. Many students do that, and those first 4 courses that made up your graduate certificate actually count towards your master's. So it's a stacking certificate. So you can take a certificate first, you can stop there if that's all you want, or if you want to keep going, we'll count those first 4 courses into the master's degree, and you're a third of the way towards graduation. So it's an easy way to sort of like start and dip your toe in before you commit to the whole graduate degree. Next, please. All right. So, 3 of our areas of graduate study, we actually have converted as opposed to a 16-week semester, which is a traditional semester. We have broken it into 8-week terms. That means that you can take 2 8-week courses in the first 8-week terms of a semester. Both of those will be over in 8 weeks. And then the second 8 weeks of the semester, you can take another 2 courses. So you're chunking down, you're only taking 2 courses at a time, but by the end of the traditional 16-week semester, you will actually have finished 4 courses. That's a full-time course load, but we've chunked it down into 2 and 2 courses. That means that it's a lighter course load at one time, but it also accelerates your speed towards graduation. So we're hoping that folks can appreciate the fact that we're working with you to help you get your degree as quickly as possible. Any of the certificate work in the accelerated areas, which are cyber technology, sport administration, and our graduate certificate in strategic communications. Those areas, the certificates are also 8-week terms. So the masters and the certificates. Next slide, please. Okay, one of the things that we also feel like is a differentiator for us from other schools that you may be looking at is that we try to make the learning experience at SoPA as engaging as possible. So, as I mentioned, all of our graduate work is online, but it's not like you just go on, look at some PowerPoint slides, put some responses on a discussion board, and sort of like sit in isolation and not get to know any of your classmates or your professors. Our faculty and our instructional designers have gone out of their way to make our online experience extremely interactive and engaging. And our students find that they get to know their professors and their classmates, even though it's an online format. We do have several group projects that you'll work on. There will be several classes where you'll have the option of logging on and having a classroom experience, somewhat like that we're having right now, where it would be like a virtual Zoom in classroom, but you will get to have discussion, get to know your faculty member. Of course, all of our faculty members and advisors are available to talk to students so that you can create that relationship as well. Two ways that we found that our coursework gets delivered to students that's a little bit more engaging and interactive than you might be used to is several of our faculty members have actually developed coursework that's in the metaverse. So they will have created a classroom situation, a problem that you will need to solve either by yourself or with other classmates. It will be an online format where you will create an avatar of yourself. You will click a link and sort of enter into this virtual situation. You'll have to make decisions and sort of work through a virtual situation, develop a problem and solve it, or solve the problem that is given to you. And then you turn that in as your coursework for that unit. It's much more interactive. It mimics real life and much more like the work that you'll be doing in the workforce. It's also fun. It's much more like a game than sitting down and like reading a chapter in a book and writing like a 4-page paper. Another way that our faculty have sort of made creative options for students is that they'll record podcasts. So instead of reading in a book or reading some articles, they will have recorded a lesson. You can listen to like 15 minutes of it on the way to work, maybe 15 minutes of it on the way back. You can listen to another 20 minutes while you're cooking dinner or folding laundry or whatever it is that you do. And especially for students who are auditory learners, that's a really nice way to ingest the information for that week. So we find that our students love the different ways that the instructors offer information, and it sort of makes it fun, engaging, mimics real life, and isn't sort of the same type of coursework week in and week out. All right, next, please. All right. So, one last differentiator that I think is also very important is that we are extremely committed to our students being successful. We're not just interested in getting you in the front door. We want to make sure that when you're there, you feel supported, successful, and that you graduate and get that diploma that we showed you at the beginning of the webinar. So we wrap our students in lots of supports. Every student has an academic advisor. This is someone who can register you for classes, who can help you decide what classes to take in what order. If you need to drop a class for some reason, they can help you. If you need like extra support, like you need the writing center to help you write papers, they can connect you with that. If you have learning differences that need accommodations, they can help you get in touch with our Goldman Center for Accommodations, that kind of thing. You will also get your own faculty advisor. Why is this helpful? A, because faculty understand all of the curriculum and can help you understand how your courses fit into sort of the larger academic framework. But keep in mind, I shared earlier, all of our faculty are professors of practice. So they all have practical experience in the subject matter that you're studying. So if you need somebody who can help you sort of figure out like how the curriculum connects to the real world workforce, they can help you with that. If you find that like you really, really like a class that you're taking, they can be like, did you know that there's these two or three different jobs out there where you use this content and subject matter all the time? They can help you discover that. On top of that, we also have our own dedicated career advisor. She does not work with any other students at Tulane. She is just here for the School of Professional Advancement students. She can help you with your resume, your LinkedIn page. If you have a job interview and you want to do like a practice interview, you can set up time with her and she'll ask you questions, sort of help you get comfortable with the interview process. We also find that there are lots of companies throughout the country that really like our graduates. And before they post job postings on like Indeed or LinkedIn, they'll actually send that job posting to our career advisor maybe a day or two before it goes live on a public board. And she will push those jobs out to our current students. So you can get a bite at the apple a little bit sooner than other folks will. So that is a differentiator. And then we have our own financial aid advisor that works with just our graduate students. And she is also there. Her name is Katie Swan. She is also there to help you navigate the financial aid process. So lots of support because we want you to be successful. All right, next slide, please. All right. So, one thing we do to try to help our graduate students is oftentimes our graduate folks have been out in the workforce doing a lot of the work that you're actually coming back to study. So, you might run into a course or two that you're like, I don't really need to take that course. I've been doing this for a long time. So, for instance, if you are pursuing your master's of public administration and there's a grant writing course and you're like, I've been actually writing grants for 10 years. What you can do is meet with your academic advisor, let them know you want to get what we call credit for prior learning. And you can work with the faculty advisor and your professor to demonstrate that you already know and meet the objectives of all of the knowledge blocks on the prospectus for the course. And if you can demonstrate that you know everything that's on that syllabus before taking that course, you can get credit, what we call credit for prior learning. You can do that for up to two courses. That saves you time and money towards graduation. And I would encourage everybody to sort of ask. There's no downside in asking, and if you can get credit for two courses, you might as well go ahead and do it. All right, next slide, please. All right, so our tuition rate for the fall term is $2,700 per course. There are 11 to 12 classes to complete an entire graduate degree, four classes to complete a graduate certificate. We have a lower tuition rate for our Master of Art in Teaching, which is $1,800 per course. This is another thing I want to point out to you all. We cap our fees at $150 a semester. You will not pay more than that. So when comparing us to other schools, definitely figure in fees because the majority of what you pay is just tuition. With just this little $150 more, many other schools, when you add in their tuition and the fees, it can almost double the tuition rate. We also offer several 20% tuition discounts if you're active duty military and veteran. If you are an alum of Tulane, meaning you already have a degree from Tulane. If you are an active or retired public safety personnel, firefighter, EMT, policeman, if you are a K through 12 teacher or a public employee of New Orleans. All right, next. We're about to wrap up, y'all. Okay, so our application process is an online application. It lives at sopa.tulane.edu. There's a big button at the top that says apply. You click. It'll ask you if you're applying for undergraduate or graduate. You all are interested in graduate, and our application will open. You will need to upload a current government ID. We will need transcripts from any school where you receive college credit, both undergraduate and graduate. You either need to send those to us or you can agree on our application to have us get them for you, which is easier. You might as well just have us do the work. We're happy to do it. We do not require standardized tests, which usually makes most people happy to hear that. For the graduate application, you will have a writing sample. We'll have 2 questions that you'll need to answer in the application, and we will need you to upload your resume. Finally, there is a $50 application fee. However, as a thank you for attending the webinar, we waive that. So if you all have already applied and paid that $50 fee, please email me after this. I can refund you that fee. It takes 2 seconds. Do not be shy. Send me an email and I will give you that $50 back. But if you have not applied, when you do apply, it should not charge you $50. It should just go right through because we are taking attendance. All right. And then finally, our start dates for our fall term are August 17th. If you are applying to the second week fall term, if you want to start for, Carson, hold on tight. You're reading my mind. The next slide, I'm going to give you the email. If you want to apply for fall 2, that's an August 7, or I'm sorry, an October 17th. Oh, and just put my email in there. For those of you who are interested in spring term, Spring 1 starts January 11th. If you want to start for the Spring 2 term, that's March 15th. And if you're planning all the way to summertime, there are no 8-week terms over the summer. The summer is just one small term, and that's a May 17th start. So you have plenty of time to apply for August, either 17th or October 17th, depending on when you want to start in the fall. All right. And then finally, thank you all for attending. My email, sgold@tulane.edu. There is a phone number. I always tell people never call me. I'm never in front of my phone, but I'm always in front of my email. So that's the easiest way to get me, sgold@tulane.edu. And I just want to thank you all for being with us today. It was a pleasure to talk to you all. Send me questions after this. Also, tomorrow you will receive an email with a copy of this recorded webinar. And so, feel free to watch it again or send it to a friend who couldn't be with us. And I hope that I will see applications from every one of you in the future. Thanks, everybody. Have a great rest of your day.